What's the joke about eating an elephant one bite at a time, right? You can get to that goal, but the way that you do it is one piece at a time, one section at a time, one goal at a time in order to get there. Let's jump in and talk about your plan for next year. Now, if you've been on any of my workshops in the past, you'll recognize this slide. And if you haven't, this is our digital dominance method. We've boiled down all of the different things you can do with digital marketing, and there is a lot of stuff that you can do. We boiled that down to basically 12 compartments, I guess you could call it. And each of those compartments have multiple things inside of them that you can do. So lots of the potential ways you could go with your business. But these are the ones, and this is the order that you should most likely do them in. And we'll kind of dig into that a little bit deeper. Now, every month I do workshops every single month, and we're always picking out those different little segments and talking specifically about those. So even though this is kind of an overview, we do have other workshops monthly that go into those specific things a little bit deeper. So this is the workbook for today. So if you want to follow along and want to grab a copy of the workbook, this is where you would go to do that. Now, I would recommend you pull this in and print it out or follow along. It's going to give you a PDF that you can follow along on the screen as well. But there are some areas where there are some pages where if you're filling it out, you can start to do the numbers, get a really good idea of the plan for next year. So, all right. Hopefully you've got that workbook, that link now for the workbook. And obviously there's a QR code there that you can grab as well. We'll also, let's see, we got that on the screen there. So we'll put that on the screen if somebody needs it. If you didn't get it, grab it, just jump in the chat, let us know, and we'll post a link to that for you. Right off the bat, what's the hardest thing about marketing your business online? Jump into your chat on yours and just post what in the world is the hardest thing. If you look at the digital dominance method, there's a lot of pieces to this, right? Overwhelm is always one thing that people say. There's so many things to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do first. These are always difficult things, to try to sort out as a business owner. Obviously, you're trying to get leads. You're trying to get people on ladders, right? You're trying to get into homes. But at the same time, there's all this other stuff that you have to do in order to feed that system. So lots of different pieces, lots of moving parts, and lots of different things that could be the hardest thing. Typically, that's one of the biggest is, where do I start? What do I do? What should I be focusing on? One thing you can do is set clear goals. And this is something I learned a long time ago, that a goal without a plan is just a wish. You have to have some sort of a plan in place and some sort of goal, some sort of way to know that you're on track, you're off track, that you're going to get that. If you don't have some goals set, you're kind of just lost at sea. You're just kind of out there hoping to come across some land and hopefully things work out. But when you have goals, you have wind in your sails and you're moving in a direction, you have a focus, you have something to aim towards, and obviously hopefully hit that, but that gives you the ability to work backwards to start hitting some of those goals, or at least aim for those goals. There was a Harvard study done, an interview of a graduating class of Harvard students. 84% of them had no specific goals. They just wanted to get through school. They wanted to graduate and they'll figure out what's next. 13% of them had goals, but didn't have them written down. Like they just had them in their head. Here's what, these are the things I want to achieve. And then 3% had clear written goals written down and already had started to build some plans to hit those goals. The crazy thing that happened is the 13% of the class that had goals were earning twice as much as the 84% who didn't have any goals at all. And these are just the people with goals in their head of things they want to achieve. But even more staggering is the 3% who had the clear written goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97%. Huge study, huge results from that. And oh boy, obviously the learning lesson there really is have these written down and have something in place to start to achieve those. So you need to have them written down. You also need to set a minimum. There needs to be some sort of timeline or deadline that you want to achieve X goal, right? That gives you an opportunity to start working backwards from there. In this case, today we're talking about 1-year goals. What are we going to do a year from now? But in order to make that happen, we need to break that down into quarterly stopping points and then monthly goals, monthly stopping points. Here are what we call rocks. Here are the rocks that we need to chip away at this month in order to move towards our quarterly goal and our yearly goal. So having those in place is huge. Having that stopping point really helps you reset. Did we, are we on track? Are we off track? Are we going to hit our goal at the end of the year? The way to do that is to start early and have those kinds of pieces in place right off the bat. What's the joke about eating an elephant one bite at a time, right? You can get to that goal, but the way that you do it is one piece at a time, one section at a time, one goal at a time in order to get there. Thanks for tuning in with us here at Window Treatment Marketing Pros. This was just one piece of the conversation, so let's keep it going. Click right here for the next part and we'll see you there. Subscribe for more marketing tips for window treatment and awning companies.